strong.
The Philippine Army aspires to get additional medium main battle tanks or a fleet of light tank units for its operations, as the Sabra tank orders of both the ASCOD-2 and Pandar 26X6 chassis under its current contract do not suffice the numbers as we get the additional information. Adding to this are some sufficiently gathered relevant and fairly important types of information that provide insight about the Philippine Army's acquisition plans relating to the Medium Main Battle Tank MMBT, units for the Armored Pindad Division to use. The abbreviation and description provided come as the current designation of the service branch for a light tank, such as Elbit's Sabra light tank of both the ASCOD-2 and Pandar 2 8x8 chassis. One point of information here is the Philippine Army's idea of getting and maintaining at least 144 units of medium main battle tanks, or MMBTs, whereby the numbers provided are insufficient if we refer to the number of Sabra tanks ordered by the Philippine Army at its current contract arrangement of 28 units. The idea of filling it up comes when the idea of getting Type 74 tanks from JGSDF stocks comes into consideration. It shows that the numbers are still a requirement for the Philippine Army to have as part of its operational needs. The idea of getting Japan's Type 74 tanks comes as its eventual retirement from service becomes more inevitable with the entry of Type 10 main battle tanks within the active service of Japan's own ground self-defense force units, along with other potential offers that the said country has in offering to the Philippine Armed Forces, ranging from its locally produced A-1J Huey helicopters to the AH-1S Cobra attack helicopter that are potentially up for grabs, possibly benefiting the Army's Aviation Haraya Regiment. In summary, getting the Type 74 tanks came as an interesting proposition that may help improve the capabilities of the Philippine Army's armored vehicle capabilities, especially regarding the idea of fielding the number of medium main battle tanks that augments the current number of Sabra tanks of both wheeled and tracked variants ordered from Israel's Elbit Systems Limited. While being idealistic, this concept remains simply a plan, unless there is a clear emphasis that this prospect actually turns into reality. Previously, Japan has provided the Philippine military with a handful of air search radars from its own budgetary requirements, enabling the former to have the first of its kind defense and military exports since the relaxation of laws that restrict the country from such arrangements. The bilateral relations between both countries, especially regarding national defense, have become so vibrant lately that the Philippine Army may have the likelihood of getting more armored vehicles. However, the aforementioned military hardware coming from stocks within the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force inventory isn't the only one that may likely end up in the hands of the Philippine Army, as there is a single type of armored vehicle that the Japanese show some willingness to provide their Philippine counterparts that may boost its armored capabilities aside from the ones it already has, like the Sabra tanks of both ASCOD-2 and Pandar 2 chassis, coming from Israel's Elbit Systems Limited. The said armored vehicle refers to the Japanese-made Type 74 tank, as these platforms are something that the Philippine Army officials are interested in getting on, as these main battle tanks, along with their A-1J combat utility helicopters, are in the process of getting a schedule for their eventual decommissioning out of active service from the Japanese military. Japan's plans for decommissioning both its Type 74 tank and A-1J combat utility helicopters also coincide with their military's plans to decommission their AH-1S Cobra attack helicopters, as their security defense policy update sees these platforms obsolete and now in the process of getting replaced by unmanned aerial systems or drones that they may see as more relevant to their defense-related requirements. On the other hand, The decommissioning of A-1J helicopters comes as the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force gets newer helicopters like the A-2 Combat Utility Helicopter, itself a Bell 412 variant that the Philippine Air Force also has and has plans to add more later on. See page 84 of the SARO release list PDF file. While some media outlets are quick to brand this information as fake, this information holds plausibility as the Philippine Army's idea of getting Type 74 tanks has gotten the rounds on several defense outlets that come with credibility even before the mainstream media gets it.